Well, we got a big week this week, and it's amazing that college basketball gets started. It gets started with a bang so fast, and you're going to get some really terrific matchups here early in the preseason. Belmont comes in, having been in 5 out of the last 6 postseasons. They won their conference championship 3 out of the last 5 years. Rick Byrd does a tremendous job. He's one of those guys that's kind of on everybody's list as one of the best coaches in the country that nobody's heard about. And we've seen this team in action against the Vols a couple of years ago. They about come in here and beat us in a late December game. They're always outstanding defensively, very, very solid. And they shoot and make more threes than most teams do. And so as a result, they're extremely dangerous. They're deep, they're physical, and they're a really solid bunch. You know, from a good league. They're in the same league with East Tennessee State and Lipscomb. Those 3 teams are always kind of perennially really tough in their conference. So we expect a good go from a team that got a chance to make the NCAA tournament. I've talked to my team yesterday, having been on the other side of this fence. I know what Belmont and Missouri State and Arkansas State's mindset is. They can't guarantee that they're going to win their conference tournaments. If they win their conference tournaments, then they're going to go to the NCAA tournament. But if they don't win 2 or 3 games at the end of the year, they've got to have a resume where there's enough at-large wins where they can get an at-large bid and or non-conference wins. And so those 3 teams are playing for their NCAA tournament lives on November 16th. And that's kind of where, you know, that's how college basketball gets tipped off. You'll see, you know, obviously the intensity, the passion. Where are we? Where does that put us? That puts us in a situation where we're a new team that's going to get better. And are we good enough to beat the team that's on our schedule that particular day? I've been saying that a lot in the preseason because it's just true. I knew Chattanooga was a really good offensive team, and I knew they had a lot of confidence offensively. I don't know that they were certain how good a team they were overall, but I thought they really felt like they could score. And so when we did a good job defensively, I thought that it really hurt Chattanooga's chance to win the game. Belmont is a really good defensive team, and they will make it harder for us to score than what Chattanooga did. And then what will that do to us? How much will that bother us and rattle our cages, so on and so forth. So. And then the other side, the other bracket, you've got Arkansas State and Missouri State. John Brady returns to the friendly confines of Thompson Boling Arena, and that'll be a treat. John, believe it or not, was one of my favorites. He has quite a personality, and if you recall, when he was fired mid-season a few years ago, I was one of the more vocal people about how unpleasant I thought that was, how unpleasant a practice it was. John's got a really athletic team. They lost by 8 to Ole Miss Friday night. Gave them a real good contest. And then Missouri State is picked 2nd in the Valley. If you look on the websites about who's supposed to make the NCAA tournament, who isn't, Missouri State's supposed to make the NCAA tournament. They got a very veteran ball club, juniors and seniors. They come from the same league that Northern Iowa comes from. Northern Iowa, of course, the team that beat Kansas in the NCAA tournament, and about beat Michigan State to play us to go to the Final Four. Very physical team. Quanzo Martin is their coach. Quanzo played for Gene Cady. Old enough to have recruited Quanzo out of St. Louis. Another guy finished 2nd on him, and probably 3rd. His teams they play like Gene Cady's teams and Matt Painter's teams. They play hard, they play physical, great sets, great screening. They've got a guard named Leonard that is very hard to guard in a post. I believe his name is Weems. It's second team all conference. Check that for me, Tom, in Missouri State. Who's a great pick and pop for man. So that's the field.
Bruce, did John Brady add Richard Williams to his staff? The old Mississippi State coach?
Why, if he did, that's.
I think he did.
That'd be quite a treat. Tom, why are you not on top of that? How could you not have that information? I mean, that would be an awful lot of experience, probably more than I could overcome.
Would you talk a little bit about what you like about Tobias Harris and some of the things where you feel like, okay, as a freshman, this is where he needs to improve? Well,
he makes tough plays look easy. He is just he's a very productive player. He's got a real good feel offensively. I think he's getting more comfortable with what we do and finding ways for him to score and make other guys better. He's got such a high basketball IQ, good feel, and he's our hardest worker. He's our hardest working player, bar none. He's our most disciplined player, I think, on and off the floor, which is rare for a freshman. And you can see that he is, you can see that he's special. He's not going to wow you with his ability to play above the rim, but he just gets a lot of things done, and I think you see he's getting better. Defensively, like every freshman, they've just got a long way to go. And I think they say when you go from college to the NBA, that's the biggest challenge is not the offense, but the defense. The difference between defense at the high school level and college level is it's like it's a new game completely. And I think probably to some extent so when you go from college to the pros. So he's learning, and I think we can be a pretty good defensive team. I think that's an area that we can get great growth in. And then offensively, I think it's just a matter of understanding, what we do and where the opportunities are, and getting guys to go to their strengths and stay away from the weaknesses. But anyways, Tobias came here because he saw the opportunity. He saw the hole in the lineup, saw what the program was, and knew that he could make a difference here at Tennessee.
Would you also talk about John Fields, and if you think that he is adapted perhaps even quicker than you might have thought?
John has been better in structure than he was in just sort of open gym settings. He took to the structure really well, and I just think the thing that you see is the energy that he brings. Both with getting some traffic rebounds and defending, offensive rebounding, changing shots. The question is going to be, and even against, I would say, the Missouri State and Belmont teams are big and physical on the inside. Arkansas State's very athletic. John will probably be more comfortable with the athleticism, but he's light for a center at this level. And how much does Belmont or Missouri State, if that's a matchup of the second night, move him out? And how does he respond to that? John is an aggressive player. He's a physical player, but he's also light. He's a 230-pounder playing center in the SEC, and Belmont's big kids are both in the 250, 260 range. I believe so is Missouri State's.